Where's welcome to the Damu Keyway conversation. Y'all throw that dub up, hit that like button on your way in, because I'm back. It's the Don DUSE. Southern Force, what up, bro? Salute. Man, we got the content, man. Old pork butt. John L. Bankhead, salute, man. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button on y'all way in. I see y'all coming in. To all my good people on Instagram. Y'all could go to YouTube or Twitch. And that's at Active Chucks. Y'all could go ahead and catch this good content at Active Chucks. I pinned that on Instagram for those who trying to catch the content. Renegade Duchess, what's happening? Salute. So, happy weekend. I hope everybody got their designated drivers, you know what I'm saying? Y'all got y'all sippy cups. Jules Dior, salute. Okay. I see you looking. Hey, but look, PRB Lack, Deuce, what up? I followed you too, Jules Dior. I subscribe to your page. Renegade Duchess. What's that? I don't know what that is. I'm blind. I don't know. Maybe it's the shades, whatever it is. Hit the like button up. You know what I'm saying? So let me get y'all this real quick. So pork butt still ain't stopped. You know what I'm saying? He said it's cool. He ain't sensitive. We can poke shots at each other. So we poked some shots and he done struck our page. You know what I'm saying? He struck me and he struck Scandalous. He said Scandalous got to bow down and kiss the ring of Reggie Wright. That nigga hates Scandalous. I thought he hated me. He hates Scandalous, man. But look, we gonna show y'all this so y'all know what type of time it's gonna be. Oh, no problem. I got you, Jules. I got you. Two Freeman, Dead Daddy. Deuce, why ain't nobody did a video on Reggie falling out that wheelchair in his driveway? Salute to all the good people in the chat, man. The good people is in the chat. Getting hit by his homeboy in the truck in his driveway. Yeah, that was nasty work. Reggie Wright Jr. hand out copyright strikes like Oprah. You get a strike. You get a strike. You get a strike. For real, man. You know what I'm saying? So let me show y'all what this piece of shit did, right? Let me show y'all what he did. Y'all should know I'm gonna flame him for this, right? Y'all should know that this ain't gonna be the time to be missing. It's the weekend. High Active Chucks, right? That's September 16th. We received a copyright removal request. Who the F is Whack 100 to validate which bloods are official? He's a rat. There's the link. Content used. Reggie Wright and Whack 100 expose top YouTubers running the streets like they're the feds. Content found during 1:45 and 20 minutes. Removal request by Bomb First. JHDR. Oh, that's Passive John. That's Says boyfriend. And we hearing that he like him young. That's A minor. Hey, I talked to Suge and he gave me the whole rundown on Passive John. Lou from the Lou, I'm back. Low CS2, what's cracking? Buzzing. Salute to my Damu Keyway family. Hey, salute to you, Lou from the Lou. You know what I'm saying? True Freeman, Dead Daddy. So he hit old Pork, but hit me with this old strike. He really be getting in his feelings and shit, you know what I'm saying? But that's all right, because just because he in his feelings don't mean we ain't gonna flame his ass up. I came on this YouTube thing, and I came by myself, right? We didn't come on here to bend and fold. Niggas like us don't bend and fold. You know what I'm saying? So what we gonna do, we gonna go to Scandalous Los Angeles TV and flame him up. Hey man, y'all hit that like button, man. Y'all do know that whenever they report me, just so y'all know, they're gonna take me out the house. You know what I'm saying? So the only way that people won't be getting their notifications that we live. So the only way they gonna know y'all live is if y'all hit that like button and share with a friend. You know what I'm saying? 21 Gun salute, Devon Stasser. Salute. You know what I'm saying? So I need y'all support. Let's get to this real quick, man. We finna get right into pork, but we getting into pork, but tonight. You know what I'm saying? We getting into pork, but tonight. Tupac former bodyguard implicates Suge Knight and Reggie Wright. Shout out to my boy Discretion TV. We gonna start off here. And flame his ass up. Hit that like button, man. The good people coming in. I hope y'all find it.
After the Seldom fight, Suge wanted to go ahead and leave, and Pac was ready to go, obviously, as well. So we walked out of the back area. Mike Tyson never came in the back, so we never met up with Mike. We ended up leaving. As we left out of the fight arena area, as we got out into the casino area again, the rest of our entourage was out there waiting on us. As we walked up to greet them, which would have been, all of Death Row entourage, along with Tupac's entourage, which would have been the Outlaws and whomever else. One of Suge's guys, his name is Trevon, came over and whispered in Tupac's right ear, because I was standing on Tupac's left. Tupac took off and ran toward the left in that direction of the food court. As I took off behind him and the rest of the entourage is behind me, Tupac comes to, at this time, I didn't know who it was, now being Orlando Anderson, standing by this planter, just like waiting. And Pac just ran up on him, and then Orlando Anderson swung back. At this time, Pac's medallion broke. When he reached down and grabbed the medallion, I grabbed him and got him out of the fight. By the time the entourage who was behind me had gotten there, the footage that is from the MGM everyone sees, Orlando Anderson's on the ground and everybody's kicking at him, beating him down, or whatever. That's what took place right after we walked out of the fight. And then from walking out of, from that incident there ending the fight with Orlando Anderson, because I knew the way through the MGM, because I was in the MGM walking around earlier looking for everyone. I knew how to walk us out of the MGM to the entrance. And I walked us out of the entrance. As the tape shows, I'm in front, Pac and Suge, and everybody is following me now. So we got out, walked out across the over ramp and back over to the Lexor. Got back over there, and it was time for everybody to go change clothes. So this is where Tupac makes his last clothes change, where he ended up in the green outfit.
And on the way back, Pac, I remember he's all pumped up about it. He took him out just like Tyson did.
Well, ironically, Tupac gets into a fight right after the Mike Tyson fight, and he was, bragging like he always did. You know, you said, I knocked it down 50 bullets, boom, 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 just like Mike did. You know, so it's just a bragging thing. You know, we're walking back the whole time, and you know, all of them, everybody is talking about the fight that had just happened. And we get back to the Lexor, and everybody go their own ways and start changing clothes. And the plan was then to meet back downstairs, and from there we went over to Suge's house.
Okay. And so that you go over to Suge's house. Tell me, sort of, Kidada and Jamala, who were at the hotel, they didn't come along, right? Like they didn't come. Did you ever see them?
Well, what had happened? Wow, once the fight happened at the MGM, not the Mike Tyson herself. After the incident that happened with Tupac, when we got back over to the Lexor, Pac went and changed clothes. This is when I fixed this medallion. While I was fixing the medallion, Kidada was in the room with us, which I'm assuming was Tupac's room because she was in the room. That was the only time and the last time that I've seen Kidada Jones was that night in that room. And she did not go with us over to Club 662 that night. And for whatever reason why, only her and Tupac would have known that.
Wait.
So Greg, let's go back to the Yakafula thing. The FBI documents on the Yakafula thing call this an execution, and they tie it directly to the death row records.
Build a website you love.
That like button, hit the like button. Let's go.
For your words,
the
death row records.
The weekend.
And then
drink some.
And
these FBI documents that you're speaking of, Michael, that allegedly say this, well, then why didn't they pursue anything? Is the FBI now part of this big conspiracy? Is it the LAPD, the Las Vegas Police Department, New Jersey Police Department? Are we all collaborating and say, how are we going to somehow cover up for death row while we simultaneously spend millions of dollars investigating death row? I mean, it's such a hypocritical position to make these claims because logically you can't connect the dots. Everybody in the world must be involved in conspiracy from your guys' position.
Nobody's saying that, oh yeah, it's the FBI, it's the CIA, nobody's saying that.
Yes, you are. You just got done saying how the FBI became aware that Yafufula's murder was somehow connected to death row. You're the one who just said that.
It's not documented.
Hey, Michael, see, this is where you lose perspective because you're not a cop. You don't have an understanding that just because something's written on an FBI document doesn't mean the claim's true. If I go and interview somebody and it's written on an FBI document, and this particular person says, hey, I saw so-and-so shoot so-and-so, it doesn't mean that it's true just because somebody's making a claim and it's on a piece of paper.
I'll post the document.
That's the thing. You can post the document. I have documents that say that Oprah Winfrey was involved in Biggie Smalls' murder. I have documents that say that Jay-Z was involved in Tupac Shakur's murder. I have documents that say Tupac Shakur killed Biggie Smalls. And these are on official government documents. Because we record information as it's being reported to us. But it doesn't make the claims true. That because you read it on an official document to you, well, goddamn, it's true.
Have you seen
all the documents of
murder? Hold on, Greg. Back up. You said, you have a document of Oprah and whose murder?
On an official document, somebody called in during America's Most Wanted, and the police were manning the line. And somebody called in and said, hey, Oprah killed. So now it's on an official document. It's part of the investigative material because somebody called in and made this claim. So it's written. Caller claims Oprah Winfrey killed Tupac or killed Biggie Smalls. So it's just these insane people calling from insane asylums. Who knows? But it's part of the official police case files. It's an official document.
Okay. When you said you had a document, what the fuck? Okay.
The book Chaos Merchants is written by Russell Poole and me, and Russell Poole was the lead investigator who solved the Ennis Cosby case.
Let's patch these together. But they don't do any due diligence to see if what's written down is actually true. And this is what is so reckless about their approach to everything.
Well, this book, Chaos Merchants, every single source is cited. And this book was written by Russell Poole, NB. Russell Poole is the lead investigator who solved the Ennis Cosby case. He worked on over 500 homicides, 300 of which he headed up. This isn't
Listen, Russell Poole is probably a saint in your book, and that's fine. Nobody's taking anything away from what he's done in his career. It doesn't mean that he didn't make some mistakes. We've all made some mistakes. I've made mistakes. He made mistakes in this case. So for you to just say, because Russell Poole has done so many good things, his claims here, therefore must be true. It's poor logic. He made mistakes. There is nothing connecting. There is nothing connecting David Mack to the murder of Biggie Smalls. There's nothing connecting Suge Knight to the murder of Tupac Shakur. There's nothing connecting Malcolm Patton or Danny Patton or Teresa Knight or Reggie Wright Jr. to the murder of Tupac Shakur. They're just speculative, illusional ideas that you throw out there without understanding the consequences of.
We completely disagree.
Have you ever been accused of murder?
No, I've never been accused of murder. David Mack.
Okay, how would you like it if somebody was out there accusing Michael Carlin of murder with no basis? Just speculation, innuendo, hearsay, and maybe some report where somebody called in and said Michael Carlin murdered Tupac Shakur. How would you like somebody out there published?
We're talking about David Mack, who went into a Bank of America with guns.
He's a crook. Nobody argues that. Does that mean he's a murderer?
He stole $700,000. And when other investigations started coming in and they tried to cap it off. So tell you what we'll do, David. You get to keep the money. You just do a stint, and you don't ever have to tell who you were or your accomplices were. You know, all you have to do is just do a little bit of time.
So the FBI. So the FBI who's conducting the bank robbery investigation, they say, hey, listen, we're good with you keeping the stolen money, no problem, but we're going to send you to prison and you need to keep quiet about who you were involved with the Biggie murder, because that's what we really need to do. We're the FBI, and we need to make sure nobody ever knows about the corruption in LAPD, because we're going to protect them too. As a matter of fact, let's do the same thing in New Jersey, and let's do the same thing in Las Vegas. I mean, it's just so asinine how you pull these ideas together. That the FBI, the Las Vegas Police Department, the LAPD, the United States Attorney's Office, the Los Angeles District Attorney's Office, everybody's in collusion together. Because Biggie Smalls' murder, Tupac Shakur's murder was such a threat to the government that we must cover this up. I mean, it's just
you don't think that the Rampart scandal?
Insane.
You don't think the Rampart scandal was bigger than what ended up in the Rampart report? I mean,
I don't know, Mike.
Because you were there.
To the conspiracy theory, it must have gone all the way to the president. It had to have. It must have gone all the way to the president.
You know what, Greg?
Excuse me. Have you heard of this company?
Being so condescending.
Guys on the
They're looking out again.
We are going to come surprise you and pick up your junk.
Are you serious?
Serious. We are going to hop in that truck.
Let's go.
And so then I came across the fact in 1994 when Tupac Shakur was shot in the New York recording studio lobby. They said another strange twist in the Tupac case, the same officers that first arrived at the alleged sexual assault scene a year earlier were the first to arrive at his shooting. And so I called his New York trial lawyer, Michael Warren, and said, do you think that the FBI and police intelligence are targeting Tupac like they targeted his Black Panther parents? And he said, yes, and no one's writing about it. And so I have been getting some national political magazines that covered issues like this, and interviewed Michael Warren for an hour or two, and ended up publishing in a local magazine in the spring of '95 an article questioning whether there was a new COINTELPRO targeting Tupac Shakur. And COINTELPRO is the FBI's counterintelligence program that targets Black Panthers. So finally, in 1998, a national magazine started by a CIA whistleblower called Covert Action Quarterly, which had won a lot of what we call Project Censored awards, it said that they were going to publish this article in an expanded form, which I'd done with about 50 endnotes. And so his family, or actually his business manager, his national lawyer, and others close to him opened up to me in a big way for both that article and what they asked that I turn it into a book.
Let's go.
So from about 1998 to 2007, when I put this book out, and
let's read this. Michael Carlin, pause. E-Rock 3912, $20 super chat. Peace and greetings, homie. Has anybody ever asked Suge who do was in the North Carolina blue windbreaker pants and white t-shirt taking photos of he and Pac because Buddy was on their bumper tough? Yeah, I asked him that. Let me write that down because he's supposed to be calling me right. What time is it? Yeah, he should probably be calling in about 30 minutes. But in the meantime, in between time, you said he had on a North Carolina blue windbreaker. And windbreaker pants and a white t-shirt. In my white tee, taking photos. Okay, he was taking photos. Maybe that'll help him remember some things or to think back. You know what I'm saying? That's a traumatic event. Shit happens so fast. Let's go.
Back form. I was off and on studying and researching his case and interviewed. Did probably over 100 interviews. I got about 100 FBI documents, though I was told there was over 4,000 pages in Tupac's FBI file. I paid for those pages, and they sent me 99 pages only because they said for national security reasons. But I got a lot of CIA documents and literally thousands of court documents and different of his cases and his family's cases, and just read probably over 100 books and thousands of different articles from magazines and newspapers to support my the theme of this book, which is the FBI war on Tupac Shakur and black leaders.
If Tupac was just a rapper, as they say, the way people seem to sell it is, rapper killed by another rapper's associates or gang members. If he's just a gang member, why should that interfere with national security?
Right. It's of course a good question. And now the way the American media presents Tupac Shakur, they present him as just a gang member, not an activist, and just a rapper that was into negative activities. What Tupac really was a lifelong committed left-wing activist. Starting from age 13 when a Reverend Herbert Daltrey asked him what he wanted to be when he grew up, and he said a revolutionary. By the age of 17 years old, he was elected as the youngest national chairman of a group called the New African Panthers.
Yeah.
They wanted to replicate the Black Panthers. They were the young adult organization inside the New African People's Organization, which was also active in 8 cities nationwide. So Tupac was a committed activist at 17, 18 years old when he was leading this group. He was a top newspaper salesman of this group. And of course, the New African People's Organization was founded by former Black Panthers and former members of the Republic of New Africa and other.
Turning discomfort into comfort. RG Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
This is some real.
Before we talk Abbott Big Ten blood drive ideas,
y'all heard
let's
how
get in the competitive spirit with the scavenger hunt.
We got real demeaning with these.
Excellent Black activists. So this is all before he became a rapper.
Yeah.
Now, at some point, within the next year or two, maybe 3, his business manager told me, Watani Tayahimba, a former Los Angeles Black Panther, who was also National Security Director for the New African People's Organization, he confirmed to me that Tupac took on a fake gangster persona in order to appeal to gangs and then politicize them. And that was part of the Bloods versus Crips peace truce movement. Former Black Panthers and other Black activists had gotten the notorious gangs that were warring against each other, the Bloods and the Crips, to stop fighting each other and to fight racism and to work on activist causes around the Los Angeles area. And the Bloods and Crips were active nationally. And so slowly but surely, these gang peace truces started to spread throughout California and then across the country, to the point that in New York, the largest gang, the Latin Kings, were influenced to stop doing illegal activities and start working on activism. And they were influenced by the Young Lords, which was the Latino version of the Black Panthers in the United States.
And they've been around for a long time, the Young Lords, haven't they?
They have. They of course, they weren't as active as they were in the 60s, but there were still a lot of members who were doing good activist work. One of them that talked to me at length was Vincent Panama Alba, for example. But a number of them were doing great work and helping the Latin Kings transform into what they renamed themselves, which was the Almighty Latin King and Queen Nation.
Yeah.
So what Tupac was involved in was this, this kind of this activism in that way. He was also funding the New African People's Organization. The National Security Director of the New African People's Organization was his business manager, Watani Tayahimba, I talked about. His national lawyer was Chokwe Lumumba, who was head of the New African People's Organization. So he was consistently funding them. He was doing a number of different activist things on the side while he was rapping and pretending to be a gangster rapper. And as I said, he loaded his lyrics with a lot of these gangster rap lyrics, but he also put in some political messages.
See, that's the whole thing, why they report me and Scandalous to slow up our thing in the algorithm. YouTube will not recommend this live to people because we've been getting reported by Pork Butt. So we're going to flame his ass up. He really pissing me off now. Hit that like button.
The album Words of Wisdom and some other political songs throughout his second album and some of his third album. And now, once he was in jail, though, they put him in solitary confinement for 10 out of the 11 months. Yeah. They used all forms of tactics that are called by Amnesty International penal coercion tactics to mess his head up, including his lawyer said that every time he went to visit Tupac in jail, they would stick their rubber gloved fingers up his butt, pretending to look for contraband.
Yeah.
So they were basically torturing him in jail, messing his head up, and then when he got out of jail, he was with Death Row Records, who I argue and show evidence of that continued these tactics to mess his head up. And only when he was finally getting away from Death Row Records did he get back into some of his activist lyrics, and he had started his own record company, his own film company, and had fired the real head of Death Row Records, a guy named Dave Kenner, a white lawyer. And within 9 days of firing him, of course, he was killed.
Yeah.
And now I argue that Death Row Records was a U.S. intelligence front company.
Yeah.
And I say that based on the fact that a high-level white Los Angeles police officer found dozens and dozens of his fellow police officers at all levels of Death Row Records. And when he went to his superiors to ask what were they doing there, they said you can consider them covert agents. So there's that and much more evidence that Death Row Records was a U.S. intelligence front company, and one of their goals was to aid in the murder of Tupac Shakur.
Yeah.
And of course, they had some other goals also, which was partly to end the Bloods versus Crips peace truce.
But on a grander scale, isn't it somehow, if you look at hip hop today, what it's become, wouldn't you say from your conclusion that it might be also more than just Def Jam? More than just
Death Row.
Death Row.
You deserve the best.
So they definitely finna get into all of that. Hit that like button. Let's see what y'all talking about, because we finna get into these crooked ass police, right? E-Rock, shame on Porky. 137 source. Yeah, I think he a 270 source now.
It's a tool. It's more than just Death Row. It's actually a tool to suppress black people in general.
Well, yeah, I agree that the whole industry, you know,
hey,
in the
Force, hold on. So Pac wanted to unite the Damus and Kiwis together, while the government wanted us to go to war with each other. Nasty work, bro. And here we is again, bringing up that same old song, Damu Kiwi conversation. Let's go.
For example, you had groups like Public Enemy that were putting out activist lyrics. You had Boogie Down Productions,
Tribe Called Quest, all these bands.
Quest. Yeah, I mean, you know, these are groups that I liked a lot in the 80s and early 90s, and I think the industry was taken over by the huge multinational corporations, particularly Time Warner, that Los Angeles Times said bought the vast majority of the rap labels. Now, Time Warner is, of course, a media giant, and Time Warner's history is intimately connected with U.S. intelligence. Their vice president for years, many years, decades, was a guy named Charles Douglas Jackson. If you look at an excellent book by British magazine editor Frances Stoner Saunders called The Cultural Cold War, you'll see that she went through Charles Douglas Jackson's letters, and he went back and forth between being a CIA architect and had the name head of psychological warfare, U.S. government, and then being head of Time Incorporated, you know, vice president of Time Incorporated.
But if you just kept
back and forth between those two positions, and I show much evidence and argue that he was running, and she found evidence of that he was running psychological warfare operations through Time Incorporated's magazines and their other, you know, media properties. And some of those operations, of course, were against black activists and black musicians, in particular, black entertainers.
Yeah.
So I found evidence that this kept up until now. I found a U.S. intelligence memo was published in a book went through the documents of the Senate Church Committee about the particular targeting of political musicians by the FBI, by the U.S. intelligence forces. I know, so there's a lot of evidence of this kind of targeting and the kind of attempt to take over the music industry, particularly the music industry, because of its influence over people's hearts and minds. And so
that's that fuck the world, E-Rock. E-Rock, don't be on here acting like you know that. They want to know if I claim to click that I'm hanging with, and if I'm down with this banging shit, well, homie, I don't give a fuck if you blood or cuz, long as you got love for thugs. Don't try to count me out. Nigga, stall that. Nigga, this is thug life, nigga, and we all strapped. Been to hell and back when I sell back, then it's back to the corners where we sell crack. Some of these niggas is busters running around with tramp ass bitches. Don't trust them. Don't cry.
Dead Prez, the crew are doing good things, but they don't get the kind of publicity that the more negative rappers, you know, are getting. And you know, whoever you want to name were the top rappers of today.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Next question. Did with all the lost files coming up, you know, detectives feeling like they want to go on retirement because of this and all that, people say conspiracy theory, you know, it's because of him talking. They said he wanted to be part of a certain elite.
When stink lingers, use Lysol Air Sanitizer.
Over there getting them commercials.
Peak group of people. Then he felt like the lifestyle that they was doing, they were trying to take his soul, and he wanted his soul back. So people felt like he had to go because he knew a little bit too much. Do you feel that Suge Knight set him up?
That's a really good question. It's a very interesting question. Also, I'm gonna put it to you like this.
Put it to me.
I listen really careful to this. I make no.
Hello.
Okay. Here you go. In 1996, the way I felt and what I thought about that whole thing with Suge Knight and the whole situation concerning Tupac and Suge Knight was completely different, because I couldn't understand how anyone would sit in a car with someone that they would put a hit on and trust that they wouldn't get shot when bullets was flying all through their car. I said it in Before I Wake, which plays on Fuse TV, and I said it in Got Your Back. You can find it at www.frank-alexander.com or amazon.com.
So is that a yes or a no?
Now, no, this you got to hear this. The thing about that is that was 1996. In 2001, Rolling Stone magazine came out with the Rampart investigation through LAPD. And when that came out, I read that article. I have that article. The whole Rolling Stone magazine was about this crooked LAPD cop story of how Biggie got killed and how Pac got killed. And then it named one of the bodyguards who was with me that was my relief bodyguard for Tupac, named Kevin Hackey. And I can say this because his name is out there like that. And we did a documentary, and he came out and said that he was an FBI informant. And
he was an FBI informant and working for the ATF. Let's go.
He was there to infiltrate death row for drug racketeering. Now, all along, when we were working together, I never knew that. No one never knew that. But the Rolling Stone magazine announced it. So Kevin sued him over it because they exposed him. All right. Oh. So after I read that article, and then I started seeing all these LAPD cops that was from the magazine, they had them in there, pictures of them dressed in red suits. Then I started thinking differently. All right. Then I started seeing different things about how a different theory and a different conspiracy could have happened. Who am I going to trust to sit next to me or trust to fire into my car if I would have set it up? Would be another police officer, someone that is well trained with using a weapon. I have 2 documentaries that go into that, and it's Tupac Assassination, Conspiracy, Revenge, and Reckoning. And I talk about those theories, and I talk about that. And my whole thought process completely changed from 1996 to 2001 after I read that article. Then I started digging and digging and digging and looking for dirt. When I started kicking rocks and rocks started turning over, my partner and we started finding dirt in Notorious B.I.G. and Tupac Shakur. That was the FBI's findings after they released their findings and decided to close the case on that murder investigation for them too. Now that's what they wanted to do.
Tupac's
the FBI did that.
bodyguard.
And the only reason why they can't bring anyone to trial is because they had 17 informants, and all of them said no, they wouldn't testify. So if you don't have no one to testify to the facts, you don't have a case, and the DA is not going to take it. So LAPD, being Biggie's jurisdiction of where he was murdered at, and then Las Vegas being Tupac's jurisdiction where he was murdered at,
Frank Alexander, Tupac's bodyguard.
and it's going to take somebody to have to solve them. Do I believe that the person that pulled the trigger on both of them are dead? I would say Tupac's killer for sure is dead. The other one, I can't say as far as Biggie goes. I believe Tupac's killer is dead, though. But I believe this. It would definitely set up.
No,
both of them. It was set up.
Based on your rock uncovering and flipping over, do you or did you see or were you leading to the fact that Suge had something to do with it?
And Puffy.
Now you say and Puffy. I don't know. Here's the truth. Okay, John 8:32, the truth shall set you free. I don't know absolutely one thing surrounding Biggie's death. I cannot answer not one question surrounding Biggie's death for 2 reasons. One, I was no longer working with Death Row and the security company. I was long gone. By the time Biggie was killed, I was unemployed.
18
writing my book or whatever I was doing. So I cannot answer anything concerning Biggie, Puffy, because I don't know nothing concerning Puffy, being P. Diddy now. I believe that someone out of Death Row's camp knows who set up Tupac's hit, is what I believe.
Based on your rock uncovering and where you were leading and things you were seeing, do you believe that Suge had something to do with that?
what I believed in 1996,
yes or no?
what I believe today, I would more or less point my finger to yes or no, and that being because we interviewed witnesses and people that testified on camera in my documentaries, that Suge Knight and Tupac had a vicious fight in New York at the MTV Awards. And Tupac told one of the bodyguards, after he was finished with a video shoot, they were walking him to the airplane. He told this bodyguard, who's a real good friend of mine to this day, he said, "I'm a dead man walking." And he said, "Pac, why would you say something like that?" He said, "Because I don't want to go to Vegas, and I got a bad feeling about it." And that was September 6th. It was a Friday because they had just finished shooting Toss It Up.
That's when the movie records, I think, was starting out.
Who was
He wanted to leave.
Who was the big enticer for him to go to Vegas?
Well, here's the other thing. Everything you guys are really good. Everything that you're asking, all these questions are in my book.
Why, thank you. We just saw the radio yesterday.
Tupac had some family matters that was going on in Atlanta, and he really didn't want to go to Vegas. He really wanted to go to Atlanta to deal with the problems that was going on with his first cousin, which was one of the outlaws. And this is in my movie, Tupac Assassination Reckoning. It's in that movie. And it's not even that I'm telling it. His family, Tupac's family, is telling that whole story. And he did not want to go to Vegas. He was not going to Vegas. And he had his mind changed and persuaded to go.
By who? By
By Suge.
Does that have anything to do with him wanting to leave Death Row and start Amuru Records?
When we were on Gridlock and all of that, they had already called an audit on Death Row. We were working on a set of Gridlock, and Yak Fula's mother was one of Tupac's assistants, and she came down to the set specifically to talk to myself and Kevin Hackey to tell us that there were some things going on, there were some changes going on, and they was no longer going to be working with Death Row, that they were doing an audit on Death Row because Pac wasn't getting all his money, and there was some problems.
She had gotten his news to make a decision. The day goes on, there's a zillion people coming by to, see Tupac. Actually, Snoop came that day. Snoop came, and my other homeboys that's with him, Marcus and Kenna. And a lot of celebrities, a lot of people showing up, right? So my shift is getting close to ending. It's probably about...
Build a website you love with Wix, where your words create your brand.
3 o'clock. The next 2 guys came on, and I'm just like hanging around the hospital a little bit, and I get a phone call, and it's Reggie. Reggie says, "Get over to Suge's now, right now. We'll sell vehicles." Several of us had talked about it, and we decided we'll leave our weapons in our vehicles, and we'll leave the vehicles, obviously, in the parking lot because we're going to have to drive them. So if anything jumped off, one person would have a weapon on them, but all of us would have our weapons in our car if we needed to get to them. So we wouldn't be weaponless, having them in a room.
Has there ever been a situation where you were told to leave your weapon prior to this?
We were never told prior to September the 7th to leave our weapons anywhere, other than the fact if we were going out of the state of California by airplane to a video shoot or on tour, we knew commonsensely we couldn't carry a weapon on an airplane. So more than likely, we would have left our weapons at that time, but we were never told, there was never a meeting held specifically to tell us to leave our weapons.
We've been informed that doctors have told the family members that they expect the rap star to once again recover from his injuries. Conan Nolan for NBC News, Las Vegas.
The next day is September the 13th. Okay. September the 13th, 1996 fell on a Friday. My shift started with Tupac at 8 o'clock that morning. Prior to my shift starting, Reggie told me to stay away from the family. He goes, they're really angry at you. I go, why are they angry at me? He goes, because, her son is laying up in the hospital dying. And I'm thinking, okay, right? So now I'm thinking I can't talk to Yasmin, who is Tupac's assistant at Euthanasia, and I can't talk to, we called her Mama Shakur. I couldn't talk to Afeni. So now I'm thinking, oh, great, right? So basically, that whole day was trying to avoid them. Ironically, when Reggie had told me that before I had gotten to the hospital, I pull up, a van pulls up behind me, and it's Afeni and her sister, Gloria. They get out and they walk into the hospital. I let them go in front of me. They go toward the back. I walk right behind them and I go in there. I, relieve the other guy that was on, and Pac's still landing there, right? I'm sitting there in the chair outside the room, and Afeni and her sister, they're standing inside there with Pac looking at him. Then a doctor comes, which was his doctor. The doctor comes and goes into the room with Tupac and Afeni and Gloria, and they go out of the room into the room right next door. And the door's open, and they're sitting down. The doctor sits down. Afeni or either Glow, one of them, they sit on the floor, and the other one was sitting next to the doctor, and they're talking. And I'm watching them the whole time, right? And I see the facial expressions, and I'm like, oh no. And I'm sitting there, man, and I'm just like falling apart inside. Then Afeni walks out, and she sat down next to me. And when she sat next to me, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. She sat next to me, and I put my hand on her hand, and she said, "It's okay, Frank." That was the last time that I spoke to her. Little did I know, Pac was dying, and she had gotten his news to make. So I look at Reggie. These are security questions. You need to answer these questions. So Reggie wasn't answering them. So I said, sure. I go, I don't own Right Way Security. I work for Reggie. I go,
Suge asking and questioning Veggie Wrong, Pork Butt, about why this would happen to Pac, why they weren't better prepared. Why wasn't he there? And he wasn't answering the questions. He couldn't answer the question. He was afraid to give up any indication of what he did. See, he's a piece of shit, man. So now we're going to go to old Simon, man. Simon said, Reggie pulled a flea flicker, G. Yo, salute Sean Hines, what up? Dude Sims came in and slapped the like button and show support, but I gotta go to church in the AM. Be safe, stay dangerous, family. Salute. Hey man, I hope that you feel the spirit tomorrow in services, brother. God bless you and appreciate you stopping by, honking the horn en route to your resting, so that you could go to church tomorrow, man. I feel honored, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Let's get into this. Scandalous Los Angeles
Welcome
TV.
Back to Scandalous Los Angeles TV, where we expose the exposers.
Thanks, Devin Stassi.
It looks like the inevitable drama between Marion Knight and Reggie Wright just keeps on escalating. In a recent interview released today on News Nation, Marion made a shocking accusation, claiming that Reggie Wright Jr. forced Capricorn Clark to have sex with him. According to Simon, Capricorn didn't have the money to pay for something she needed, and Reggie allegedly used that vulnerability to take advantage of her. That's not just a personal shot. That's a serious accusation, one that paints Reggie in a dark, Weinstein-type light. But Simon didn't stop there. He also used the interview to implicate Reggie in the murder of the notorious B.I.G. While answering questions about Puffy, Simon pivoted and pointed the finger straight at Reggie, suggesting he played a role in Biggie's death.
I definitely can hear you. What's good with you, man? Well,
all right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for taking the opportunity, Suge. Co-founder Death Row Records. For everybody at home, of course, you know who Suge Knight is. So
well,
you
no
keep coming up.
There's only one founder.
All right, the one and only, the OAO, the OAO, Suge Knight.
Yeah.
So tell us about Capricorn Clark and whether you believe she is a credible witness for the prosecution to make a racketeering case against Sean Diddy Combs.
With Thrivent, your financial journey isn't
Get
a solo
hit
mission.
that like button.
Your money is a tool to support the people, causes,
and share. Tell your friends.
I say this all the time. Puffy and I are not friends, but Puffy should definitely walk. At the end of the day, how I know Capricorn and when I first heard about Capricorn, it was back when I was doing prison time. When I was doing prison time, it was a guy that didn't work for Death Row, but he was over the security company. This guy, Capricorn, broke his windshield in the back of his truck. He wanted her to pay for it.
Here goes Suge right here.
She couldn't pay for it.
A
guy named Reggie Wright Jr. told her, well, you got.
We're going to turn this up.
This is Global Tel-Link. You have a prepaid call from an incarcerated individual at the R.J. Donovan Correctional Facility, San Diego, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Any questions for Suge?
You will not be charged.
Put them in.
To accept this call, say or dial 5 now.
Put them in the thing.
Thank you for using Global Tel-Link.
Whoa, what's happening, Suge? Oh, man, I'm live right now, but it was perfect timing because we was reviewing the video that Scandalous Los Angeles, my boy Scandalous, did exposing Pork Butt when you implicated Pork Butt in the killing of the homie Pop. Right. Right. The boy Frank Alexander, when you first seen Frank Alexander after that happened to Pop, what was his reaction?
The whole thing about that shit, I was trying to catch that fool.
Right. Right. Can you hear me? Sure.
Other cars, one of my friends, he trying to get an apple. So they gave me the prescription. They found him, brought him back. First, and he said, Pork Butt told him, don't ask for my car, don't come in. Something's going to happen to him. But at the end of the day, he said Pork Butt didn't want to tell him. He did not care. He did not do this. So it was all said and done. That's how it really went down. And I ended up calling old bitch ass, scary ass Snoop. Told that motherfucker he had to get his ass here ASAP. So he came to my house. And about that time, my mom was in my house. We went by the guest house and talked. And he told Pac's mom, he came to see him. And Pac's mad at him for the shit he did in New York at the radio station.
Yeah, that whole ass shit he did.
He told Pac's mom, Pac fired his shit up, which is true. Then the motherfucker said his wife is pregnant. He said, Boo Boo pregnant, Shantae. He said, if it's a boy, he gonna name it Pac and name him Tupac. He was a boy, and he made him Calvin or whatever his name, Cordell, whatever, right?
Right.
And he was so nervous, and Pac's mother said, well, shit, Pac was mad at me, cussing me out for some shit I did, but I still want to see my son. Are you coming? This motherfucker that started throwing up and got on his knees and to my own, I'm responsible too. So the fault is mine. So I tell that weird ass motherfucker in his face. The only reason I didn't quite get on that motherfucker at the time because I never thought, no matter what on, that he would have had his hands in that shit. So whatever, however, I hope it's never, because if I ever run into that motherfucker skinny ass super duper, I'm gonna get in trouble.
Rightfully so. He did some snake shit like that. So wait, just so we clear, so Pac did take off and fire off on Snooper Duper, and it was because of the shit that he said after the New York video shoot was shot up.
We was in New York. I took him to the MTV Awards. So he left the hotel to go to the radio station and was talking bad about Pac basically. So when Pac came to my room and listened to by the time it was time to go, Pac got on the Pac.
Right. Rightfully so.
We'll do that the red when we get back to the studio. Stupid people was scared to ride in the car with it. This motherfucker was going to be the limo to take it to the private plane. It was going to be the stand to put all the luggage in. This motherfucker squeezed his ass and stand with the luggage shit, saying he ain't riding with them all the time. So, you know, truth is the truth, the fact is the fact. The one thing you got to remember, you can't get it from security, because security is always they flew private. Those motherfuckers are that motherfucking coach in the back in a commercial plane.
Hey. In the back of the bus. Well, listen, man, I'd have to fly on Spirit. So sometimes it's just about getting there on time to get to that bag or whatever you're traveling for, right? But in this case, at least I didn't do it like a coward like these niggas, right? Yeah, we live.
Keep it black, keep it strong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's two things I want to get squared away. Number one, there's a great attorney.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Give her a cigar for his Jasmine, for his truck getting on her. Her father and her father had a great relationship. So that's weirdo shit. But at the same time, you should never be that jealous of a black woman. And that black woman, she's not representing me, but she representing my bro. She representing Charles to his lawyer. So she's still doing good things, so I guess folks are to be sorry about it as much as we want to.
Oh, you talking about Jasmine Mon, attorney Jasmine Mon.
She represents Charles. So they but still, if you know they hands on the situation for me so much, shit, I can't even get nothing done. They'll do anything to stop the movement. But at the same time, if she represents Charles, which is a good look, so she better represent Charles. Telling Jazz, give her a cigar for that. But at the end of the day, also, I don't know what these dudes own, what they think they own, and I need to get fucked with that much attention. But I'm gonna tell you little fat, stanky motherfucker. That you keep speaking on my kids. I love all my kids. And I show my kids tough love because I love them. And when you speak on my motherfucking kids, you fat, nasty motherfucker. You already know what it is. Anybody kids need a straight to see a psychiatrist, it should be your son, nigga. Because how did you go from changing your son's diapers when he was a little baby? Now you a grown ass man, he a grown ass man. He changing your motherfucking diapers? Why would you let your son see that you wearing diapers? Different level of embarrassment.
Right.
I feel bad for you, Porky. You got your son changing your diapers, and have some respect for yourself.
Right.
I ain't gonna argue with you, though. God bless you. You probably got 2 more sleeping and wake up for you out of there. But shit, live it the way you live it. You a dangerous man, though. You had nothing to lose. If God's gonna explain your action, your participation. Talk about you, no one else. Word for the wise. If you keep talking about everyone else's life, your life will never get started. And damn, can I at least hold my own motherfucking thing sometimes?
He act like he itching towards it. Remember what happened at visiting, and he kissed the old girl. You know, he told me that was true. He admitted well, I know what he's talking about. Yeah, how you gonna watch a nigga? Yeah.
When I'm thinking about my mother, you know what I mean? I was that young boy from day one, except with his mother. My mother was the greatest woman alive until, you know, the day she passed away, you know. But what I would do say is this: my mother's a straight shooter. She's not bullshit. She tell the truth. So, but my mama's down, though. You know what I mean? So when I'm at the 10 last time and I'm getting my business, you know, at the back wall, they used to let us all get to the back wall. Don't be seeing right there. You know, my mama ain't gonna look at me. She'll have her back turned facing the police. She ain't looking at me, but she's standing in front of me blocking with a few other motherfuckers. You know?
Right.
So my mother knows if a bitch on her knees squatting, shit, she's making sure I have a good time. Because I had a good time. I'm busting like a motherfucker, right?
Right.
So my dick was running that penitentiary steel. So as I'm busting, when it's all said and done, my mother comes back and said, "You better watch Pork Butt." And that was she called me. Said, "Pork Butt is gay."
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
I think it's Pork Butt. I said, "I know he putting that jacket on like that. That motherfucker ain't gay. He got kids." Say, "Look, boy, don't be stupid, motherfucker." My mama cursed, right?
Right.
She said, "I know you was getting your dick sucked. Everybody else knew you was getting your dick sucked. Pork Butt fat ass knew you was getting your dick sucked." He said, "We didn't even make it to the car. The helper can go to the bathroom. She couldn't brush her teeth. We walked into the car, and Porky, she called him Pork Butt, grabbed her and started tongue kissing her, sticking his tongue all down her motherfucking mouth." So my mama said, "That motherfucker must have been jealous. Are you trying to taste your nut?" She called it cum. I said, "Nut." He trying to taste your cum or something, but he immediately kissing her. And then you telling me one thing about Pork Butt, he ain't all bad. He gonna tell the truth sometimes. So if he told you, he know what I'm talking about. He know, I know. My mama in heaven looking down, still laughing. And that badass bitch know.
Right.
So at the end of the day, Pork Butt ain't never physically sucked my dick. But you know how that nut tastes like kissing that bitch.
Wait, and then then it's so weird. This nigga be hanging from your sack like that, right? He say, y'all got a problem with me being the police, but Suge left me in control of death row. the trucker say that too. CS2 back. He say that too, right?
Death Row was born in 2000. Death Row was born in 91. Death Row died in 2001. I started Death Row. I created Death Row. I came with the name Death Row. Now, the trucker line, motherfucker, he wasn't there. Death wasn't there. Period. Trucker never met Tupac. He never been down around Death Row or none of that. My brother-in-law was running Death Row when I went to the team. So I don't know what was saying or what he's doing. But if he was the one running Death Row, why he had to create another Death Row?
Right.
Why you did kissing racist John, man? John the motherfucker. What are you doing? Suck on Cedric dick and have orgies.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
Have orgies with underage white boys.
Wait. You said John was having sex with Cedric and having sex with...
Racist is one of the most racist motherfuckers you're going to meet in your life. This same motherfucker that took underneath Tupac in a truck bus and gave to that black dude, whatever his name is.
The Russian, the mad Russian.
Russian dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that dude. That's why he got his fuck because of being Death Row. Mainly me. He made a mixtape as a DJ using unreleased Tupac songs that they stole and sold to him, which is illegal. Number one. And racist John took Death Row pictures that Cedric gave him for fucking him. And racist John made him Death Row, which they never had one. You don't gotta take my word for it. They was on pop.
Hey, that's Suge Knight uncut. Hey, Suge will be calling back. Suge said that racist John, that's what he called John. He said racist John was fucking said and having orgies with underage boys. You know what I'm saying? Mad Russian Mammy was a spy. No, he's saying that the nigga Pork Butt stole some unreleased Tupac records, right? Gave them to racist John, who in turns gives them to Vlad TV, the Red Spy. Vlad TV bootlegs the unreleased Tupac overseas, blows it up. That's how he got his name as a DJ. That's how he got his wave, by pirating Tupac tracks. Talk about a fucking culture vulture. This nigga was pirating Tupac tracks without authorization. Reggie's mouse click got a body count. Wow. Valentino gonna love to hear that. Shout out Valentino. Hold on. Peter Q's, I'm live. Let me tell him I'm live. I'm sure Suge finna call back. But until he do, let's get into the content. Let's go.
Thing that's been said, from ties to Biggie's murder to serious personal allegations, Reggie's silence would speak volumes. But he's not staying quiet.
Headway has provided an incredible sense of freedom to have practice in a way that I want to live.
If you're new to Self, let me tell you a little bit about
it.
We're on a mission to help people build credit, especially.
Pork Butt hit me with
what up, Bone First Family? Man, do y'all know the blind man, the herpes infected man? After I asked him to shut the fuck up, goes on a network and still lying on the ridge.
One last thing before I go, you got to remember, Death Row and the Employees and Bad Boy was really good friends. A lot of them. Reggie Wright Jr. and the other guy that be with Puffy, I forgot his name, the other fat dude, right? But they called Reggie Wright Jr. to do security for Puffy and Biggie the night Biggie got shot. So I can't see that they will look at Capricorn affiliation with Death Row that bad and that type of threats. I'll be surprised. Gene, that's his name. Gene and Reggie Wright Jr. is great friends. So that's got to be understanding there's something there. And we just can't jump to conclusions and say, throw Puffy in the bus. Like I said, him and I are not friends, but Puffy definitely should walk. What's right is right, wrong is wrong.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
Reggie can't believe that Simon is siding with Puffy over him on News Nation Live like this. He can't believe that after all these years, Simon's words against him are being heard by hundreds of thousands of people. Like Reggie says, just to muddy up the investigation.
Y'all know that audio we've been teasing and talking about? Because I got to talk to my community, my Bomb First community, where Suge talked about, and I told y'all, it's not true. I don't believe it. But Suge talked about, because I came across it, because I got a whole bunch of audio, and man, I got to apologize to my boy Rick in advance, because I didn't know that. I didn't catch until recently that was his voice on the audio talking to Suge. When they talking about the stuff that allegedly supposed to happen to Tupac. Y'all got to tell me in the comment section. Do y'all want to hear it? Tell me, because I can't believe that Suge said that about his little brother, as he called him. But I don't want to be the one to release it and get it out there. Unless some people want to hear that two-faced, blind, herpes-infected fool.
Midnight salute.
Say it. Y'all want to hear him say it? Y'all let me know in the comment section so y'all can hear it. And within the next day or two, I will be releasing it. If the overwhelming majority of the Bomb First family people say they want to hear what Mr. Suge Herpes Knight got to say. All right. But I promise y'all audio daily until they can shut up. Oh, I don't like tapping at Suge and doing this, but he won't shut up. He trying to now implicate me somewhere. Like me and Gene Deal. Gene Deal, of all people, had something to do with setting up Biggie. Because I was cool with Gene Deal. Gene Deal ain't know who the hell Reggie Wright was until about 2015, if not later, maybe even 2016. But hey, that's Suge. That's what he do. He weaponized Tupac or situations like that because he's a snitch at heart. We're gonna start telling these snitching things that you did. I'm gonna tell what you said about your cousin Ronald and Donald. That'll be the audio that will be released next, guarantee. But y'all remember that nice attorney? This attorney that been writing briefs and all of this stuff came in our chat and was very nice.
He hated on
Attorney Jasmine.
Suge said, damn, can't he shake his dick one time without you trying to gulp up his jism? Damn. Look at Attorney Jasmine.
And so, I'm not going to show the text messages when Toy, accusing her of things and stuff like that. But Toy, for some reason, don't think that Suge and Jasmine, that he, I've been on the phone with them, for about 3 months, they're there every day.
Simon has now publicly implicated Reggie in not just the murder of Tupac, but Biggie's as well. And if that wasn't enough, he's also accusing Reggie of forcing Cadillac Clark to have sex with him, stealing his building, and the company Simon says publishing. With all of these serious accusations stacked against him, Reggie's best response is to resort to player hating. And if you listen closely, it sounds like Reggie's been moving like this from the very beginning, ever since Simon hired him. That's why Simon said what he said. Every woman Reggie had
Imagine making $453,000 in a single month as an affiliate marketer without relying on Google, Facebook.
I had her first.
And I always thought Toy was out the picture. I thought Jasmine was just Suge's woman. But Toy just hit me up on Facebook Messenger yesterday. And Reggie, why are you talking about my son and me? You know, don't talk about us and all of that. Suge, you know, that's still my fiance, but you know, you're supposed to leave us all of that. And well, she's right. But I was like, damn, how she hit me up? I thought she had went on by her own little way. Shit, Whack 100 told me he walked in and seen her at a restaurant out in Port Ranch. And she was waiting on a dude to come. So I thought it was over.
Now Reggie is hating on her too.
But okay, that's nothing. My poor girl Jasmine, this young lady, working hard for Suge. Hard for Suge. So I'm doing this, Jasmine. Know you're going to get disappointed and hurt and all that, but I'm doing this to help you. Because this is what he thought when he was coming home. You remember around February when he thought he was going to win that appeal? He called you and Toy his runners. He don't need y'all no more. I said, Red, I don't need these runners. They ain't nothing but runners. He calls you 5150. Do you know what the penal code section for 5150 mean? That you crazy. At the end, he calls you a stupid B. After all you've been doing for Mr. Knight. Working hard for him. But now they're trying to accuse me of setting up and stealing Simon Says from him when he know the real on that. That was my services, my payment for all the work I did running his motherfucking company. I'm just the owner of a security company. Nigga, get anybody to say that. You get on a lie detector tester and say that. Y'all listen to this audio just so y'all can just see how much of a snake he is. This is mainly for Toy, so she can know this nigga is in love with Attorney Jasmine. Sorry, y'all.
Sorry,
but
how you gonna say
trying
sorry?
to mess up my happy home. Mess up my happy home. Mess up my happy home with this last interview he did.
So let's get motherfucking Alan to finish it up with the bitch, cause shit, motherfucker gonna get ready to be touching pretty soon, and all this shit gonna go well for a motherfucker. I know I'm gonna get my blessings, but motherfucker ain't trying to be shit. I don't really need runners no more. I don't need 5150 no more.
Oh, yeah. No, you seem to have a good team around you now.
God. But I just think the other boy was, so I guess the other boy was lying too, huh? This motherfucker she know from Compton. I ain't never told that motherfucker, you ain't never gave me shit.
From Compton? Well, ain't nobody ever gave you nothing. Shit.
No, I know the other one didn't. He ain't saying that, because remember I had the motherfucking legal vehicle take me up there and told that nigga in front of the legal vehicle. And legal vehicle told him the truth.
Yeah.
I'm talking about it was another motherfucker from Compton. He probably was in the feelings I fucked his baby mamas and all that shit, but he told the motherfucking Rick Ross lady that he the one started my shit. That fool named Tweet.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking
about? You talking about the brother or you talking about him?
I ain't talking about neither one. Tweet.
I'm off on that one, though.
Oh, you probably don't know him.
So basically, because gang in here, DUSE and watch with it, champ watch with it, little doodles. So basically, right here, Reggie is playing this audio he done recorded Suge, right? Talking about Tweet, which is Jasmine's stepfather, trying to cut in and build a divide between her family and Suge, just on some messy ass, hating ass, divide and conquer ass shit. He learned well from the feds, and that's what he was on. But you just heard Suge come defend her honor and get on pork butt for being jealous of Jasmine. Let's go.
He wasn't really popular.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
These motherfuckers be meeting these rappers, and like I told that motherfucker and told him, don't use me for your conversation piece, motherfucker.
Gotcha.
You ain't never gave me shit. I ain't never fucked with you. I ain't never hung with you. I ain't even talked to you.
Yeah, I never heard no story like that. Yeah.
That was just some motherfucking new shit.
Trying to make yourself. Yeah.
Have you ever wanted to see your home from space? With this free satellite Earth Maps tool, you can zoom right down to your exact address in just...
Let's get these lights up.
We get Alan on deck and get
that.
That's the biggest prize right there.
Oh yeah, that's a big name. I don't think the attorney know his resume. Yeah.
They don't know nothing.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't change. The truth is the truth.
Yeah. If she understands the resume, she'll stop being hard, Yeah.
Yeah. They don't know nothing. You shit. They because the motherfucker they get a degree in something, they don't make them smart.
Yeah.
Especially they don't know more than the truth and what's going on.
Yeah. Exactly.
They have no idea.
Yeah. No, you're right about that. Yeah.
Shit.
You always said about
when
that.
When I thought about that, I told you, we get him on the horn. She's so motherfucking stupid when it comes to this shit, because she thinking like, oh, well, I don't want to be on him do nothing but hang up on who? Bitch, you got me.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
I keep telling don't know how people acquiesce. I keep telling they don't know how people acquiesce.
Yeah. Yeah. So all you gotta do is draw shit up and do nothing else. You're not the fucking
you always say, just tell the fucking truth.
Yeah, that's all you want.
Yeah.
Bomb first. Tell that herpes infected, blind, talking about what he gonna do. Niggas blind in one eye and only probably got 50% vision in the other. Yeah, I'll get up on a walker. I'm a little messed up, but I'm coming back. By the time he get out of jail in 10 years, I'll be good. You better hope I let you come home, nigga. Peace.
Listen to the police. Listen to how the police talk. You better be lucky if I let you come home, nigga. Peace. This is how the police talk. A nigga that used to work for this nigga. You know what I'm saying? Suge told me that nigga you didn't used to be with him. He said that nigga ain't went nowhere with him. A couple places when he working. But other than that, he said nigga he ain't never fuck with Reg like that. Yeah, he said pork butt. He said, man, why niggas listening to pork butt? Said, man, they said you gave him death row when you went to jail. Said that nigga's a security and that's it. Let's get to this other scandalous Los Angeles video, man. You know what I'm saying? So pork butt over there putting the 10 on the 2. Putting the 10 on the 2. Hold on. We're going to go with this one first. Reggie Wright tried to get Suge booked 3 days after Tupac was alive. You gonna flame pork butt ass up.
Couldn't get any colder.
Hold on. Let's run
it
that
does.
Back. My nigga. To go.
Welcome back to Scandalous Los Angeles TV, where we expose the exposers. Just when you think it couldn't get any colder, it does. Delray Richardson from Straight Game TV just dropped a bombshell digging up some old paperwork that originally appeared on J-Mix's channel. But it hits a whole lot different reading it now. According to this police report, on September 16th, 1996, just 3 days after Tupac's murder, Reggie Wright Jr. called the police to inform on Marion Knight. He reported that Marion was using blood gang members as armed security in the wake of Tupac's death. This was apparently an attempt to get Simon violated and locked up, opening the door for Reggie to step in and take control of Death Row Records. 3 days after losing Tupac, Reggie was already making his move. If that's not cold-blooded, I don't know what is.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. It's your boy Delray Richardson, platinum artist, platinum songwriter, Straight Game TV. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your time. Do me a favor, click on the thumbs up button. Also, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And like I always say, if you want to be one of the first people notified when I drop some of the Straight Game, please do me a favor and click on what appears to be that little bell notification. And please, please share the videos on your by sharing, click sharing. Yeah, from that perspective. I'm gonna get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen.
Relaxing just wouldn't be complete without the soothing taste of smooth sailing.
Now, for those of you guys who don't already know, Delray Richardson is a multi-platinum songwriter, producer, and recording artist, known for his work with some of hip-hop's most iconic figures. Operating under the moniker DJ Delvanara, he has collaborated with artists such as Tupac, Dr. Dre, Eminem, 50 Cent, and The Game. His contributions span songwriting, production, and performance, cementing his reputation in the industry. Richardson is also the founder of Del Funk Boy Music, LLC, a Los Angeles-based independent record label and music publishing company established in 1996. The label has achieved gold and platinum certifications and has secured numerous placements in television and film. In addition to his music career, Richardson has been vocal about industry practices, notably discussing financial disputes involving Death Row Records and Tupac Shakur. He revealed that Death Row owed Tupac approximately $17 million from album sales, highlighting issues of artist compensation and contractual agreements within the music industry. Delray Richardson's conflict with Reggie stems from a series of public accusations and legal actions that have unfolded over the years. He has been vocal about his criticisms of Reggie, particularly concerning Wright's alleged involvement in events surrounding Tupac's death and the operations of Death Row Records. Richardson uses his platform to discuss these issues, which has led to heightened tensions between the two. The tensions escalated into a legal battle when on November 8, 2023, Reggie filed a lawsuit against Delray Richardson in the U.S. District Court for the Central District of California. The case, titled Reginald Wright versus Delray Richardson, centered on claims of assault, libel, and slander. Wright alleged that Richardson made defamatory statements about him, which were disseminated through various media channels. As part of their settlement, Delray agreed to stop calling him Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. Now, while I'm not exactly clear what Reggie agreed to in return, one thing's certain: he didn't stick to it. And once Reggie broke the agreement, Delray wasted no time. He brought the nickname right back. Reggie the Rat is back in full effect, because according to Delray, Reggie didn't keep his word.
Ladies and gentlemen, shout out to J Mix. I want to show you that Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. has always been trying to get rid of Suge Knight so that he could possibly take over Suge Knight's empire.
Reggie had a game plan, and he made it very, very clear that he wanted to take over Death Row Records. Make no mistake about that.
Right? And so now, not only take over his empire at the time, but now even hijack his stories. Ladies and gentlemen, pay attention to this. So there was a story about Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. Trying to get Suge Knight's probation revoked, right? And this was in 1996. This was shortly after the death of Tupac Shakur, but before Suge was even going through the situation where he actually got violated for the situation at the MGM Grand, and he received 9 years. But check this out. It was discussed by Jay Mix. Jay Mix had did a video, and he had the paperwork, and he talked about an Officer Knox. The sad part about it is Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. denied, talking to any kind of police, never talking to LAPD or anything like that. He blamed it on, well, me and Suge, we had went down there, and it was in relation to, the boys that had got the gun pulled out on them by Suge at the studio and so on and so forth. It was an outright lie. Here's the paperwork, and I want you to check this out. This is serious, ladies and gentlemen. Why do I call him Reggie the Rat Wright Jr.? I'm going to show you how deceptive, how snake-like, how conniving Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. has been. I need you to pay attention to this. Check it out. So,
hit that like button.
On 9/16, ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. When did Tupac die? When did Tupac die?
That's exactly
Tupac died on 9/13. This is 3 days later, ladies and gentlemen. 3 days later after Tupac's death, right? Watch officers Jeter and Yamamoto were working a crime suppression detail to address gang activity problems at Death Row Records, 18730 Oxnard Street, Suite 211. Officer Jeter spoke with the head of security at Death Row, Reggie Wright, and was informed, listen, ladies, and was informed by Mr. Wright that since the death of Tupac, 3 days earlier, since the death of Tupac, Mary and Suge Knight was now using gangsters, Bloods from Compton, as his own personal bodyguards, and that they were armed.
So Pork Butt, mad he done got fired, and he done got Tupac unalive on his watch. And now he wants to tell the police that Suge and them is now using real street niggas and they're armed felons. So this is a quick way for them to have probable cause. So Pete, what happened?
Officer Jeter was familiar with Knight's personal vehicle, which was there at the time at approximately 0500 hours. Jeters and Yamamoto observed 4 vehicles. This conversation basically led to an attempted felony stop of Suge Knight within hours. He watched the 4 vehicles leave Death Row Records in gang caravan fashion. The officer observed Suge Knight in the middle vehicle of the caravan. The officers attempted to stop Suge Knight's vehicle, but were interfered in making the stop by the rear vehicle, a green Humvee, driven by rapper MC Hammer. Subsequently, Hammer was questioned and released, warned only, right? Knight and the rest of his gang caravan eluded the police. Ladies and gentlemen,
Mountain Performance TV is the hardest working software in television. Get started today at mountain.com.
We're Tire Rack. We test tires to provide you with truth, transparency.
I first want to get you first have to understand the timeline. And what it says to me that most people were thinking that Suge Knight was really, dealing with Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. that way. You could clearly see at that particular time that Suge no longer trusted Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. with his security after what happened approximately a week earlier, if you will, on September 7th, 1996. Now, when you go back to this right here, you'll see clearly, dude, this is beyond comprehension, man. on 9/16/1996, this is 3 days after Tupac died, Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. is ratting on Suge Knight. He's informing the police that since the death of Tupac Shakur, Marion Suge Knight was now using gangsters, Bloods from Compton in his own personal body as his own personal bodyguards, and they were armed. Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't get any worse than this. It doesn't get any worse than this. When you talk about somebody being a backstabber, like the OJ song said, right? They smile in your face, but all at the same time, they want to take your place. Backstabbers. If you look in the dictionary, you will see Reggie the Rat Wright Jr.'s face right there. What it says to me, and the reason why this was being done, was Tupac was out of the way now, right? You know, Tupac gone, you know. And like I told you, Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. Created the environment in which he's been caught in so many lies, right? Saying, well, I never told him to not carry guns. We already know that's a lie because his security guard, who was Michael Moore's roommate, basically confessed on a tape that Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. did in an interview with Tim Williams, his name is, right? Go check it out. It's over there on Bums First. But more importantly, you got to understand the time and what's going on at this particular time. See, Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. has always been trying to pass the buck over to Frank Alexander, and everybody else was incompetent, right? But here, Reggie the Rat Wright Jr., you know, 3 days after Tupac's death, is informing the police that Suge Knight is now using gangsters, Bloods from Compton, has his own personal bodyguards, and that they were armed. He was snitching as Suge Knight was right there outside in the parking lot, and they observed the vehicles leaving, and they tried to pull him over based on the information that Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. provided against the guy who ultimately set him up to have a job, to have a company, and do all of these things. Ladies and gentlemen, if you do not understand who Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. is, from this right here, and like I said, you got to take into consideration the time. Dude, Tupac ain't been dead a month. He ain't been dead 1 month. And Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. has already flipped on Suge, because what he realized was that now, after being fired by Tupac on the 27th, less than 30 days ago, prior to Tupac's being shot and succumbing to the gunshot wounds, right? Right? Not even 30 days later, not even 3 days after or a month after Tupac's death, Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. is informing to Officer Jeter and Officer Yamamoto about Suge Knight having his personal security being conducted by gangsters, Blood members. See, and you know, because see, 1 minute Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. will tell you that you know, I grew up with all these guys and trying to get you to think that he was some kind of some way sort of ingratiated with these guys. See, this is a common method. This is the thing that he does, right? But then on the flip side, right, he will go and do this. He will go and do this. 3 days after Tupac died, AM watch officers, Jeter and Yamamoto, were working a crime suppression detail to address gang activity. And what I like about this is it's dated and it's timed, right? So there can be no ambiguity.
We're gonna hit y'all with one more video before we go out. For those who just came in and didn't know, hit that like button. We flaming pork butt up because he reported me. Bomb first. You know what I'm saying? Him and John, they hit me up. So since they hit me up with a strike, I'm gonna flame his bitch ass up. So let's go here. We're gonna stop this.
They got Titans.
We're gonna stop that and we're gonna get into this last video by Scandalous Los Angeles TV. We're gonna get into this and we out of here, man. Hit that like button though.
On this episode of Simon Says, we get Simon to take us back to a legendary moment when he and CS Tupac pulled up to hold it down for Game, who was surrounded by about 40 Crips. You might have heard Prodigy from Mobb Deep tell it, or even 40 Glock and Spider. CS2 back first told his side of the story years ago, but he just broke it down again on Vlad TV not too long ago. Well, today, you'll be getting Simon's version, raw, unfiltered, and straight from the source. So let's get into it and see what Simon says.
Well, let me ask you this real quick, right? And then we're gonna, and after that, I wanted to make sure I clarify what you had said when them niggas kept trying to push that, the homie Montreal murder on George, right? And you checked them, told them niggas to stop lying and saying that nigga name, right?
Since the dawn of time, man has been plagued by itch and irritation from not wiping clean. What man didn't realize is...
So I don't know why they think that that's cool in the first place to be pointing the fingers at anybody, let alone another homie. If that was the issue, you niggas push up on that nigga face to face. You don't do that, but that's not the issue. Right. Yeah. And there was another situation with the homie Game, speaking about the artistry. It was, I think he put out an APB this a long time ago. And I think you and the trucker pushed up to go save him. I think the G Unit dudes was trying to get him, the Mobb Deep dude, Prodigy.
Nah, you know what happened on? Let me tell you the whole truth of that story.
Okay.
I'm at the Four Seasons. It's me, the homie Zap from Food Town, Lil John, and that was it. So the trucker hit me. He was like, I'm lying around here. What could I do? I said, well, man, I'm at the Four Seasons. So he pulled up. The homie Briss from the West Side. Mm-hmm. That's who made all that happen.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
He banged my line. He like, where you at? I'm like, they're going with that bullshit. What you mean where I'm at? I'm wherever you want to be. He said, no, for real, for real. He said, man, I'm up here with Gang, him, and it's damn near 30 Crips up here trying to get us. So where you at? He said, I'm on Sunset. So you went down the street and we're on our way. I said, oh, we just go push. The truck said, I'm going to ride with you. All right. If I was thinking, I should have put some phone booths on the bottom seat, but I had none to make them look bigger and taller.
so he can see over the window, huh?
Yeah. So we go up there, right? The minute I got there, you know, we pop out. All the homies who was there to represent. And I didn't even want to take away from the trucker. He was there with us. Right? Right. But the reality of it is this. We was outnumbered. Game and the motherfuckers he was picked up against the car and not moving. So I get out. They was like, man, they're like, son, what's up, man? You fucking with him like that? I said, look, I'm here, not on my watch. I can't let him get tacked out. How that's gonna look? Right? Right. They would stay talking. And because you, we gonna get off his bitch ass, you know, blah, 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 blah. I said, hold on, let me check on Army first.
And who was that, 40 guy?
No, it was a lot of dudes from East Coast up there.
Okay.
There's motherfuckers from everywhere. But 40, listen, I ain't here to knock 40 Glock down, but 40 Glock, hell no. Hey.
Right.
But it was real gang members up there, put it to you like that.
Right.
They knew it was real gang members, because when I went over there And I thought Magic from Cedar Block. Magic to be with Game. I'm actually, that nigga was bracket. I said, you from Cedars? He's like, no, I ain't from Cedars, right? So at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with the truth. The truth of the matter is, they were deep as a motherfucker. Either it was going to be a massive shootout because for his numbers, we wouldn't have won that one. You know what I mean?
Right.
But they had enough respect for a motherfucker and said, we're going to give Game a pass because of you. So when Game got the pass, the trucker kept wanting to talk to him. We did this for you, we did this for you, we did this for you. We looked out for you. That's how they hooked up. For a long time, everybody thought the trucker was the you know, remember that?
So he trying to act like he wanted that push for him for the soft shoe press.
Man, he didn't push shit. And the thing is, we went for this squabbling up, we was outnumbered. The motherfuckers had respect and love for a motherfucker, so they like, we gonna back up off of it. And that was a great love.
Hey, Suge, when Wack told this story, he said Spider was there. Do you remember seeing Spider out there?
I didn't see Spider with that motherfucker at all.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
I gotta tell you this about one of the other things with the Homo Cardi Rep.
This is Global Tel Link. You have a prepaid call from
Suge Knight.
an incarcerated individual at the R.J. Donovan Correctional Facility, San Diego, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now.
Chevy makes America's most dependable trucks.
Hit that like button. You got the time,
Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
So what I was saying is this. For the West Coast, everybody got to come together.
Right.
Period. And even me. One person shouldn't be bigger than the movement in the West Coast.
Right.
So we all supposed to look at a situation and say, you know what? We need more jobs for the West Coast. But what's so good about hip-hop, that creates jobs. Because if you get one rapper, whatever hood he from, he's going to be giving out 10 jobs, right?
Right.
At least. And from those 10 motherfuckers, they can have another 10 motherfuckers doing merchandise. Another motherfucker going on tour with him. Another motherfucker in the studio with him. Another motherfucker, everybody can network and make it the place we want it to be. Like if somebody's doing a video and they're artists, everybody should support them. It shouldn't be, we should have not lost not one artist in this industry.
Right.
You gotta look at it like this. How big we would have been. Look at cops. You know, when it comes to Tupac, right? That's my bro. It's not about who killed Tupac, who didn't kill Tupac. There were so many people involved in it, right?
Right.
When Pac died, they used that to commit fraud against me. Snoop's hatred for Tupac kept destroying the West Coast. When Biggie died, that separated hip hop even more. When Nipsey died, shit, Lil Durk is in prison or in DC and he shouldn't be in DC. What? How is it that every time somebody gets in trouble in hip hop, they get more time than they should? How is it that every time somebody dies, we celebrate their death instead of trying to make it better?
it's things we do for each other. And a lot of things I do for people I've never really talked about. Okay, well, I'm gonna tell you like this. You take Ice Cube. Q, you did a movie straight out of Compton, using my image, using my likeness, using some.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
And you chose to defame me on the fact that I don't have an ego, because Jeff Rowe was everything to me. So I'm the CEO, I'm the security, I'm the sound man. I'm gonna do whatever I'll sweep that motherfucker up because it's my building, it's my property. I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do to make it work.
Right.
So Cube and them straight said that I was a DUSE and Andre and them bodyguard. How am they bodyguard when these motherfuckers in 190 Benzes inside Jeeps, and I'm in big blazers, the big Chevy blazers, the Silverado truck, the Burton with the D's all on the motherfucking lowriders and flat no Porsches, rags, and vests. Right. A red one, a black one, and a yellow and black one. You know what I mean? But ain't no ego about it, but at the same time, I did things to still protect Q. That motherfucker never gave me $1. Only thing he ever said is, well, the white people should pay you. The white people should pay me. So when they came to me, you know, they sued me from a civil trial. Carter's did. Terry and their family, right? So the story in them was to subpoena Q. I put Cube on the stand. I said, you can't do it. He said, it's going to have to be win. I said, I don't care if I got to pay money. I ain't going to have to Cube caught up with some shit. So what they put together is the tax they put together, and I stopped it, and it's a paper trail on it, but I still stopped it. They said, okay, Q was fucking with Terry. Right. Back 10, homies beat up Ice Cube brother-in-law. Right. So now everybody mad. They said Q got at Terry. One homie ended up dead. Other homie ended up shot in the head for his life. Both of the homies. And they said, we got the proof. We gonna subpoena Cube, and Cube got to tell the truth. We can't do that. That's fucking with Cube. They can try to give Cube a case. And all right, they wouldn't fuck with Ice Cube. I said, well, I don't want no parts of that. Cube with him. Cube was the homie. Right? Right. I said, if you put it out there the right way, some motherfuckers might not like how that's done. But once again, I took one for the West Coast because I love the West Coast. Same time, I think Nick Cannon's a good motherfucker. We should get the motherfuckers who can help to build this motherfucking place. I know he got the bullshit deal with the trucker with the incredible diapers, but I don't think that's cool thing with the trucker because they're not even giving motherfucking pork butt free diapers. And he needs them. Oh, yeah. Let me stop. Let's stay positive. Okay, so fuck it. But at the end of the day, right?
Headway has provided an incredible sense of freedom to have a practice in a way
hit that
I want to live.
Hit that like button.
Quality, longevity, selection. These words have been synonymous with the Sergenians and Karastan brand.
Right now, we start getting all the West Coast to be synced. Now, I got to really watch my words here because, you know, you say the wrong thing, they say it's racketeering on Rico or something, right? Right. But when it's concerts out here, give these new artists a chance to do one song. Right. It used to be a time where everybody wanted to do their videos in California. The whole Los Angeles area. Right? You remember those days? Yeah. Those days destroyed the West Coast. You know why? If you got YG doing a video, if you got Nipsey doing a video, You got Kendrick doing okay, whoever. We talking about the West Coast, period, right? Right. When people see those videos, they like, oh man, look at California. Look how they ghettos are. Look how they industries are. Look how they beaches are. Look how they clubs are, right? Then all of a sudden, everybody else doing videos out here, but nobody letting natives do videos. People who actually live here do videos. Look how bad we look. And it's not personal. It's just facts. Motherfucking Puffy did a video out here, and the name of the video, He the Big Homie.
That's crazy.
So everybody got behind him and said he the big homie. So what happened to everybody else? Reason was wrong with all the neighborhoods because nobody making no motherfucking money. Reason why we not making no motherfucking money because nobody doing business. Let's get it back to business. Let's cut out the lies, let's cut out the bullshit. Let's get back to the business and the talent of it. Yeah, that's how we bring the West Coast back. Let's get each other their opportunity.
Custom configurations create a space that's uniquely timeless, yet distinctly personal.
And that's it for tonight, man. Salute to everybody that's up in here. Turn on them notifications. I'll be going live early in the morning, man. Salute to everybody with the super chats. E-Rock and E-Rock with the super chats, man. We really appreciate that. Turn on your notifications so you don't miss this tomorrow. We're in the shadow ban right now. They're not recommending our stuff because pork butt is tattletale. He T10. Man, pork butt 137 turned 270 and forming. We out of here, Jamu Kiwe.